On Monday, Arlisa Sugar and Sam Lassand Jr. were at the office of the United Way of Greater Hazelton as they welcomed new president and CEO Gary Perna and said goodbye to Pat Ward, who retired from that position after 16 years.
I'm going to miss everybody. It's bittersweet, but did some talking with my family, did a little self-assessment, and I thought it's time. Age-wise, I'm still in pretty good health, so hopefully Kathy and I, we have 2 adult children. They're both married to wonderful gals, and we have 1 beautiful little granddaughter, Nora, who's 4.5, and we want to spend more time with family and maybe do some traveling while we still can, and time to move on.
Well, you will definitely be missed. We wish Gary Perna, of course, the very best of luck, who said he's going to attempt to fill your shoes. So I'm sure Gary will do a fantastic job. But as you look back over the years, you started as a volunteer here. You were volunteering, you were involved in the media, of course. I followed you, I think, radio stations, TV stations, yeah. St. Joe's Hospital. We both worked many of the same locations, but not together. So take us back. Like, what's it been like over the years throughout your career?
Well, with United Way, first of all, it's probably about 30 years. I was in charge of public relations and marketing at the time for St. Joe's Hospital, another wonderful organization, and I was asked to serve on what we call the allocations committee, where people from the community decide where the money that's raised goes. And a while after that, the CEO of the hospital, my good friend Sister Edwin Aldous, stepped away, and I was asked to come on to the United Way board. And at the time, I was probably the only non-CEO of an organization that was on the United Way board. So I learned a lot, met a lot of great people, and along the line, I had gone up through the chairs, if you will, on the board. And 16 years ago, I was actually the board chair when my buddy Mary Malone decided to step away to pursue other opportunities. And I was asked to come in then for 6 months as an interim CEO, and 16 years later, I'm so happy to pass the torch to Gary. We looked and considered a number of people, and we wanted somebody that had ties to the community, and Gary seemed to be a perfect fit to step into the position. So I'll work with Gary for the next couple of weeks and try to bring him up to speed and then cut him loose. Because there's one thing I said, I don't want to be in Gary's way ever. He's now the president of the United Way. I am not.
Well, when you look back over the years, how has it changed? Because things have changed a lot. This entire community has changed a lot.
Well, obviously the demographics of the community have changed dramatically in that period of time, a little bit longer than 16 years, Lisa. But I would also say the way business is done has changed dramatically. In that, and there are a few notable exceptions, a lot of businesses in this community are owned elsewhere by corporate America somewhere. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because we've had a nice economic boom in the industrial parks thanks to all of Can-Do's hard work in the community, but it's more difficult now for us to make contact in some respects. Plus, a lot of our big givers have passed away or moved out of the area. So there's a lot of challenges. We tried to retool this thing to do business differently, and I'm sure Gary's going to pick up from there.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Falvello Law Firm. Have you been injured in a car accident? Call Falvello Law Firm. Your case is our fight.